Okay guys, it's Ebird Online. Let me just remind you before we begin that I'm here for a good time and not an ethical time. A good time, not an ethical time. And so with that being clearly established, we'll get on with part 2 of the tell-all. And this is the second part of the tell-all for 90 Day Fiancé before the 90 Days Season 6. And today is the day you've all been waiting for. The weather seems to have turned because we have Christian, Cleo and Black Cloud. Now guys, some people have suggested it's rather unfair that I call Black Cloud Black Cloud. And I think this is because it's not actually her given name. And so guys, finally I relented. And I agreed to stop calling Black Cloud Black Cloud. But I'll only do this when she finally stops being a Black Cloud. Over to you, Black Cloud. And judging by her performance on this week's tell-all, she's practically singing Black Cloud till I die. And what else do we have? Well, some quite shocking news from Christian and Cleo. Well, I was shocked anyway. And so we'll get into that a little bit later. Now it's long been established that Christian's a critical drinker and not a critical thinker. But guys, some of the things he says today at this tell-all have absolutely earned him that species-wide moniker of that delusional little fucker. But will Shaun pull him up on his idiocy? Only time will tell. Well, I guess time and Ebird. But before we get into all of that, thank you to everyone who's subscribed to my channel. I genuinely appreciate it. But if you've yet to do so, press that big red button marked subscribe. And don't forget to smash the like button if you enjoy the video. Also, if you know anybody else who might enjoy this video, please consider sharing on your social media. Thanks guys. Right, so without further ado, I give you Christian and Cleo. Guys, so synonymous is Black Cloud with Cleo and Christian that 90 Day Fiancé have to wheel her out on every occasion. Guys, she's integral to their relationship. I don't think Christian wanted her on stage at all, and I wouldn't mind betting that Christian was probably fairly dented by this, given that he's that man. He's magnetic, he's a booze hound womanising charmer. Women love him, men want to be him. And last but not least, he's a playboy. Guys, I have no words, and I wish he didn't either. But anyway, Shaun dives straight in with the interesting questions. And so she asked the couple when they last saw each other. To my absolute freaking shock, Cleo said 3 days ago. What? Guys, you could knock me down with a feather. Cleo has spent a month in America living with Christian at his house. I really couldn't believe it. I didn't even know Christian had a house. I just thought he lived in someone's shed and bathed in bong water. But yeah, guys, this has all the hallmarks of the real thing. Cleo explained that she'd met all the women from Christian's family. What? Only the women?
My family are, masculine and conservative. A lot of hurtful things were said. You can't believe you would do this to me. It was a rough thing. So I tried to shield Cleo from that.
Oh, good lord, guys. People keep saying, Ebird, stop dunking on Christian. But I say, Christian, stop giving me bloody reasons to. So the first reason he irritated me was because he cut Cleo off. Shaun asked Cleo the question, but Christian jumped in with his size 10s and said, nope, I'll tell this story. Good lord, he's such an attention whore. And then even the way he describes it, my family are very conservative and very masculine. Christian, tell the truth. They don't like you dating a trans girl. Just because someone's masculine, it doesn't mean for a second that they're also going to be transphobic. The two aren't linked. And then finally, Christian wants to paint himself as the hero. He wanted to shield Cleo from all of that and make sure that nothing upset her. If you wanted to prevent Cleo from being upset, you fucking off might be a start. And guys, if I'm honest, I think the main reason that I'm, dunking on Christian is that he's so cock-a-hoop that Cleo's been over to see him for a month. But somehow, just somehow, I don't buy it. It wouldn't surprise me at all if he got her to fly over just so she could give back his favourite hoodie. He didn't want to let that go now, did he? Honestly, I don't buy it. I buy his want for the limelight and his want for fame. And I genuinely think he's shaping up to be on future seasons of 90 Day Fiancé. And that's what I think his game is. Don't ask me why. I hope I'm wrong. I hope this is true love for Cleo. But somehow, I don't know, my spidey senses are telling me this ain't it. Anyway, next up pops Black Cloud, and Shaun's got a question for her.
How do you feel about Christian today?
I mean, it's a tough one. I do speak with Cleo, and she's sharing when things are good and when things are bad. And as a friend, I'm obviously sometimes concerned Christian is just a little bit too selfish and he has hard times actually hearing Cleo.
That's our black cloud, always with the downpour. I've got to say, I do agree with part of her diatribe. I think Christian has a hard time hearing anybody that isn't Christian. I don't think that's particular to Cleo. However, Black Cloud refuses to see any of the good. Obviously, he's introduced her to his friends and family. Obviously, he's had her in America for a month. Also, he lent her his favourite hoodie. And it would seem overall that Cleo's quite pleased with Christian. I would say that Cleo's not the most confident person, and it seems like she's not that confident with guys either, and I think this is doing wonders for her confidence-wise, and just experience-wise. But Black Cloud finds it viscerally impossible to be happy for her friend. But what did interest me about this was Shaun said that as soon as Black Cloud met Christian, she had some reservations. Please, Shaun, one of these days, watch the show properly. No, that's not what happened. Black Cloud didn't like Christian even before she met him. She had an obstinate and cocky raised eyebrow as soon as Cleo even mentioned him. But anyway, Christian was pulling all sorts of faces. 1 minute he looked quizzical, then he looked puzzled, and then he looked perturbed. Christian, you know you're a dickhead, so don't look surprised by it. This cannot be the first time you've heard it. Come on now. And then he told Black Cloud straight up, we've done a lot of talking, and I've changed my behaviour somewhat. But guys, then Black Cloud, well, she went for it. See if you can watch in this clip what she's doing. And I'm going to come back on the other end and let you know what the Ebird thinks.
The biggest issue for me and the biggest red flag for me is that you still kind of keep chatting with other girls and you still keep inviting other people into, I guess, your relationship.
Wait, how do you know he's chatting with other girls, Jane?
Well, I mean, I know there have been concerns where Cleo thinks that he's chatting with other girls.
What? Oh my word, guys. This is beyond a sellout. Cleo audibly gasped when Black Cloud started talking, and she kind of semi-shook her head, and she said no! But alas, it was too late. Oh my god, this is just such a stitch-up. Black Cloud knows good and well that Cleo told her that in confidence and that she was never to utter one word of it. What does she do? The first time she gets a chance, she drops it right to Christian. Cleo, if you're listening to this, get away from this girl. She is not your friend. She does not have your best interests at heart. And so Cleo came to bat for Christian, and she said we're understanding each other much better now. And guys, you could tell she wanted to quash this conversation. But guys, Black Cloud hadn't finished yet, and she said, well, there's one specific incident. There's someone that Christian's inviting into the relationship. And then Cleo said, well, we've talked about that, and he's been 100% better. But then finally, Christian decided for once to be a man.
While she was staying with me, I have this group called Steiner's Anonymous. And there was a gal who joined and was pretty active.
Hold on. It was that she made it really clear that she was interested in you. I found you extremely attractive. And
she called me cute. She called me cute, and I said, thank you, that's very nice of you to say. I want to interact with people. I don't think that is flirting. I like making friends. I cast a very wide net.
And Amanda jumped in, and she said, you're trying to justify your actions. And he said, I didn't feel like I was doing anything wrong. And Riley piped up, wrong answer. Wrong answer. So as we already know, Christian loves flirting with the women. And he said the only reason he's calmed down on doing it is because he knows it really upsets Cleo and not because he thinks it's wrong. I mean, to be honest, we already know this about Christian, but I've been really thinking about it, and when I consider it, what's the reason that we all don't flirt with everybody? Well, aside from the fact I suppose it's quite boring, but let's imagine you fancied the person, let's imagine you saw somebody who was fit. The main reason you wouldn't chat to them is because it would upset your partner. So I guess that is the reason that people don't flirt wildly when standing in bars, because of their significant other. So I guess that's a good a reason, if any, for Christian not to do it anymore. But next comes something that I've been hoping and praying for. So remember Thanksgiving Gate, where he invited a random stranger from a bar to Cleo's home on Thanksgiving? Well, guess what? The TLC crew have done their job very, very well. Emmys all around, Emmys all around. Because they've managed to find the Statler lookalike from the bar. And guys, for once, when Shaun lets us know there are unaired scenes, the Ebird's all in. Usually the unaired scenes are absolute dog shit, but I've got a feeling this is going to be quite good. And just to whet your appetite, this is what Christian said. to production on that very evening.
How's it going?
Good. How are you?
Doing pretty good.
Are you from the States?
Yeah, I was about to say your accent.
Yes.
Kind of relish these moments when I'm alone. I'm kind of like my own little wolf on the prowl.
Wait, what? Wolf on the prowl? Guys, this is what I think they call the smoking gun. This proves it. You are out hunting women. Like, unfortunately, Black Cloud said, and like the rest of the audience and everybody on stage says. You are hunting for other women. You are still twisting. You have not decided to stick. Guys, I knew it. Cleo's okay for the meantime. That's where I think he's at. And as for his description of wolf on the prowl, I don't think so. More like Labrador on the beg. So anyway, Christian went on to tell this girl that he has a girlfriend whom he's just met. And she asked him how it's going. And he said, well, it's fine. And then I think he got a bit muddled up because he said she wanted to keep it quiet that we'd slept together and I wanted to tell the world. But I do think he meant it the opposite way round. And then he said, I would have to tell my Steiners. Who, Christian?
Eventually, I would have to tell like my Steiners. So
Your what?
my Steiners.
What is that?
It's a community of like-minded people, shall we say? It's basically if you're like a cool person, you're a Steiner.
Did you create this?
Me and a couple buddies, yeah.
So Christian, you and your friends have created a little group and you and your friends think you're the arbiters of who's cool. The funniest thing as well was the girl when she said, did you create this? As if you need to ask. Oh Lord. I genuinely can't believe it. I cannot believe that grown men are doing this. I created a gang when I was at school. I think I was 11. It was all over by the time I was 13. Christian's nothing short of an embarrassment, but mainly to himself. And then Christian let the stranger know that they had code words for if they had sex the night before. He said, you're going to think I'm an idiot. And she went, yeah, it's leading that way. Anyway, guys, I just want you to see firsthand yourselves Christian's interaction with this girl when he asked for her details. And I want you to let me know if you think it was flirty.
So
I wish I could stay longer, but
before you go, like, if you wanted to come to like our Thanksgiving that we're having tomorrow night, like we're making a turkey,
I'm
mashed
going to be in
potatoes.
Belgium.
No
But
problem.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Do you want to add me on Instagram? What's your?
Yeah, I'll put it in.
Yeah.
All right.
It was great meeting you.
Good to meet you too.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Guys, there was absolutely no way for him to lay it on any thicker. How on God's green earth did Christian think he was going to get away with this? He really does need to start experimenting at least with a basic education. Everybody on the stage started weighing in and they all had something to say. Each one upping the ante to the next one. Razvan wasn't very happy. He said, what are you doing in the bars? Riley gave a very New York, oh my God. And then Cleo said it's not okay. And she wonders that because Christian's so extroverted, she may never be enough for him. And he said, no, that's not true. And Meisha jumped in and she said, Christian, that's how she feels. Meisha, just because it's how somebody feels doesn't suddenly render it a fact. Although, in this case, it pretty much is a fact. Cleo's never going to be enough for Christian. Christian wants the adulation of many. That's what he's doing on this show. That's my belief. So everybody just continued ragging on Christian. And guys, I feel as if Christian's been listening to my videos. Because he made a point that I made the other day, which was, why would he invite somebody, if he had intentions towards them, to Thanksgiving with his girlfriend? But straight away, I realised why. Because he's going to be in America, and so is she. Sans Cleo. So what Christian was actually doing was saying to her, I'm interested. I've only just met Cleo. I've only known her for a couple of weeks, so it's not really a relationship. And absolutely nobody likes the statement that he made about the wolf on the prowl. Or as I believe is more accurate, a Labrador on the beg. Again, everybody rained down on him. And so guys, when I was contemplating what would be the most effective manner of the distribution of condemnation for Christian, I realised, as Statler's double walked onto the stage, it's of course from the horse's mouth.
Tell me how the conversation with Christian started that night.
Christian came up to me. He's very open, very chatty.
You can say I'm a pig. You can say I'm a pig.
If I had not known he had a girlfriend, I would have thought it was just 100% flirtation, seeing where the conversation would go.
And there we have it. The girl in the bar thought he was cracking onto her as well. In fact, as he was. Everyone discusses this for a while, and Christian, well, he just says that's how I am. I'm an extrovert. I like talking to people. I treat women as if they're just normal human beings. And it's pointed out once more that he doesn't talk to men, only women. And then Meisha asked Cleo, if Christian stays the same, flirting, everything, could you be happy in this relationship? And Cleo thought about it for a while, and she finally ended up saying, no, I couldn't. And so Shaun decides to wrap things up, and she said, Christian, Cleo, what are your plans for the future? And oh my god, guys, I can literally see straight through Christian. Guess what he said?
There is a question that I haven't really asked Cleo. Would you be willing to marry me?
And so straight away, Riley said, are you asking her to marry you? I can answer that, Riley. No, he's not. And he wasn't. What he was actually saying is, if I asked you in the future, would you marry me? Christian just wants a memeable, clippable moment. He wants a tell-all, to be Christian's tell-all. What's awful about this is the fact that once more, he's playing with Cleo's emotions.
Stand up and mask her. This is not official.
Okay.
Wow. I need to, it would have to be in person.
I just cannot believe this. This is the most surreal thing in my life.
After everything that we've been through, after all the things that we've been through, is it something that you would consider, is what I'm saying.
And so Cleo said, you're quirky, and I love you, but there needs to be a better place for this. And I say, well done, Cleo. Christian thinks you're so desperate and so in love with him that he can offer you scraps, and you'll snap them up. But bad luck, Christian, it's not what ended up happening. And when Shaun asked, there's a real proposal on the way, Christian said, definitely one day on one of these trips, she can anticipate that it may happen. In other words, no, there isn't. I just want to grab the limelight, as per usual. And Black Cloud just sat there and she shook her head, as well she might. And that's where we end things for this week. So guys, please let me know what you think in comments down below. Is Christian's proposal real? Or do you think, as I do, he's just showboating and trying to create a moment for the tell-all? And also, what do you make to Cleo's reaction? She seems somewhat happy and I think validated, but I think even she knows this isn't for real. But do let me know what you think in comments down below, and I'm going to get on with my next video. Guys, thank you so much for listening. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, all of that good stuff, and share the video if you've enjoyed it. You've been listening to Ebird Online, and I bid you good day.
Baby.